What's up everyone, it's your girl Joelle and I am back with another video. For those of you that are new to my page, I am a trans woman and I have been on this trans journey for quite a while. I started my social transition about 5-6 years ago and I started my medical transition just under 3 years ago. But that's enough about me. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get into this video. If you're a trans person who's been on TikTok recently, you probably have heard the terms doll or brick. So what are these terms, what do they mean, and why are they relevant right now? Let's go ahead and start with the term doll. That's probably the more commonly used term and the most popular. This is probably one of the best videos on TikTok that perfectly describes what a doll is without getting too off topic. This video is by a very popular trans creator by the name of Viandre. Y'all have probably heard of her.
And if I hear you calling yourself the dolls, I'm gonna assume that you're either a baby tranny that just came out, a trans girl that's dolled the fuck up, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't even clock her, or a non-binary person, which also is the dolls. Honestly, I could care less what you call yourselves, as long as you're supporting the people that started the lingo and the terms, just because, girl, you gonna erase us? And yes, there's nuance of different ways to say doll that doesn't apply to trans girls, like the southern way of like, you're such a doll, but like, that doesn't apply here. Let's be smart people.
So from my understanding of it, typically the word doll refers to a very like hyper feminine trans woman. Just to throw out some really popular names that I think of when I hear the term doll would be like Amira, Eden the doll, or even Nikita Dragon. Now for the more controversial term, let's get into what a brick is. So this is the best video that I found that kind of goes into the description of what is a brick. And this video is by a creator by the name of Nocturnal Angel 13.
I feel like I'm gonna regret saying this because like I low-key want to gatekeep it, like as a trans woman. But
Yeah, we're not
my
gatekeeping
page
here
is
today.
So tiny, I doubt this will blow up. But basically, what a brick is a trans girl who looks a little clocky. Like, you know, a doll is a hyper femme woman, right?
Oh, even getting into a doll.
Trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
A brick is like kind of like that awkward in between stage almost, and then you know there are some of the girls out there who just have really masculine features, and they can still be dolls, right?
A brick is exactly how she described it. Someone who's a little bit more clocky, right? Someone who we would look at and be like, oh, that's definitely a trans woman. I'm not going to give examples of this for obvious reasons. I honestly don't think that this term is cute or funny to use for other people unless you are using it to refer to yourself or just kind of like as a general like you're not actually referring to a specific person, but you're maybe talking about a specific stage in your transition. Or maybe you're talking or attesting to like a bricky doll's experience. In a way, I feel like both of these terms can be empowering, especially when we're talking about the doll. It's a very empowering term, especially for hyper feminine trans women, when they are starting to really embrace their femininity. Just because you're a doll doesn't mean that you're necessarily passing. It doesn't necessarily mean a passing trans woman. It's more just someone who is hyper feminine. So like Viandre said in her video, it could also be a non-binary person or a trans femme. It doesn't necessarily need to be a trans woman. Though if you use that term for yourself, I probably will assume that you are a trans woman. So do with that what you will. Now for the term bricky, I think that one is a little bit more controversial because we're kind of calling out our more masculine trans women. I honestly do think that it's a very empowering term when someone is using it for themselves and is owning that, is owning their masculine features, is owning the fact that they are a non-passing trans person and isn't trying to pass. With that, it's important to recognize that not every trans person wants to pass. Right? So that's why this term can be very empowering, especially for someone who, you know, doesn't mind being a bricky trans person, doesn't want to become a doll. Though at the same time, a bricky trans person could also be a doll. Now, this topic has become kind of a popular conversation on TikTok. Because there were a few videos of trans people calling out other trans people by saying, you know, some of y'all want to call yourselves a doll, but are not ready to accept the fact that y'all are actually bricks.
Can you imagine in 2025, there are still trans girls out there calling people bricks? There are still trans girls out there saying...
And that was a little hurtful to the community, and it kind of sparked this whole debate about who's a doll and who's a brick, and just all these very like toxic gender norm conversations about what trans people should look like, what they should strive for, and it got really toxic. Anyways, yeah, that's everything that's kind of going on TikTok right now. I'm actually going to show you all a video of another trans girl talking about this issue and kind of encapsulating the problematic behavior around it. So yeah, let's get into it.
This is no hate to the trans community, but like, what are we doing? I keep hearing discourse about doll this, brick that, or is she fish or is she clocky? Like, shut up! Like, what happened to lifting each other up? Like, women support women. Like, God knows we need it at this time. Like, girl, we got the whole US government on our back, right? And we have grown-ass trans people on the internet arguing about who's a doll and who's a brick and who's fish and who's clocky and who's... I think you guys are taking this terminology a little too literally and a little too personally, and it shows. I don't know, I'm just tired of seeing trans women bring other trans women down for literally no reason. It's important to remember that we are all individuals with our own stories and our own journeys. So let's just be here to support each other and not bring each other down.
This whole situation has gotten a little bit too messy over on TikTok and getting a little bit too hostile within the community. Let's come together as a community, right? We are all in this together, and right now the country is chaos, and I don't think it's productive to be having these types of conversations. And I think it's important to remember to support our community and come together because we really are stronger together. All right, everyone, I hope that this video kind of helped bring some clarity to the situation. If you are not doing so already and you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would so appreciate the support. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button to help motivate me to make more videos because I really want to get to the point where I am making videos on a weekly basis. So I would so appreciate that support. And make sure to follow me on my other social media. They are all at Joelle Q Nunez. To anybody watching who is struggling with their gender identity, sexual orientation, or just in general having a difficult day, remember that you are valid, you are beautiful, and you are deserving of love and respect. So please, please, please don't take any crap from anyone. I love ya, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.